Hi, this is Monica from Knitted Wishes. Today I would like to show you the Tubular Cast On. Now because this cast on requires a long tail, I'm going to need to estimate the amount of yarn needed for the tail. Now I'll be casting on 16 stitches, so I'm going to wrap the yarn around the needle 5 times. This is going to give me the amount of yarn needed for 5 stitches, double it for 10, and triple it for 15 or 16, and also leave a little bit of extra yarn at the end for weaving in. Now place the tail over your thumb and the other side over your index finger and hold both strands of yarn with the bottom fingers. Now I'm going to begin by pushing down on that strand of yarn that's between your thumb and index finger. Bring the needle down towards you and up. Now I'm starting off with a knit stitch followed by a purl stitch. Now we're gonna make a purl stitch. Go underneath both strands of yarn, up, through the middle, underneath the strand that's on your index finger, and up. And here it is. A knit stitch followed by a purl stitch. Now we're gonna make a knit stitch. Go underneath the first strand, through the middle. Now I'm holding these stitches with my index finger so they don't slip off. Through the middle, over the strand that's on your index finger, underneath both strands of yarn, and up. And here it is, a knit stitch. Now we're gonna make another purl stitch. Go underneath both strands of yarn, up, through the middle, under the first strand of yarn that's on your index finger, up, and here it is. A knit stitch, purl stitch, knit stitch, and purl stitch. We're gonna make another knit stitch. Go underneath the first strand of yarn, through the middle, over the strand that's on your index finger, underneath both, and up. And here it is. Another knit stitch. Now another purl stitch. Underneath both strands of yarn, up, through the middle, under the strand that's on your index finger, up, and here it is. Now another knit stitch. Underneath the first strand, through the middle, pick up that strand of yarn that's on your index finger, go underneath the one that's on your thumb, and up. Now continue until you have about 16 stitches on your needle, ending with a purl stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Now the last stitch is a purl stitch. When we turn the work, we're going to want to begin with a knit stitch. So here we ended with a purl stitch. Now on the other side it will be a knit stitch. So we're going to turn the work around Like you can pinch with 2 strands of yarn if you prefer, or you can just go like this. You turn the needle to the other side like that and bring the working yarn, so the tail is on this side and the working yarn is on this side. Now bring the working yarn under the needle to the other side like this, and here we have a knit stitch, and this will be our first stitch in the first setup round. So now we're going to start the first setup row, and our first stitch is a knit stitch. Like so. Now followed by a slip stitch. So slip the next stitch with yarn in front, knit the next stitch, slip the following stitch with yarn in front, and continue to the end. And our last stitch is a slip stitch. Slip the last stitch with yarn in front. And this is what the first setup row looks like. And now we're gonna work the second setup row. So in order to do that, we need to turn the work around. Bring the working yarn to the back. Now the first stitch is a knit stitch, so we're going to knit the first stitch, slip the next stitch with yarn in front, knit the following stitch, slip the next one with yarn in front, knit, slip, knit, slip, knit, slip, and continue to the end. Now the last stitch is going to be a slipped stitch. Now you could join in the round here. This is the end of the setup rounds. So you could either join in the round here or turn the work to the other side, bring the yarn to the back, and continue with the 1x1 ribbing on this side. Here it is. And here is the Italian tubular cast on with the 2 setup rows.